Isn't it about time we had an all-female reboot of Brokeback Mountain? After all, labias getting licked are way better than dicks getting stiff. Well, no matter what your gender, this is sure to get your genitals tingling. A fresh episode of the Savage Sack Tap starts right now.
You're listening to the Savage Sack Tap. It's not a podcast, it's not a half-cast, it's just a quick shot to the balls to help you finish off the week. We're cutting through the bullshit, filling your Friday with rage-fueled logic, and cracking a few jokes along the way. So grab a bag of frozen peas. There's a Savage Sack Tap coming your way.
Smooth, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
Hillary Clinton has somebody. Did you ever hear of Pocahontas? Huh? It's Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. She was going out. She's a total failure. She said she was an Indian. She said because her cheekbones were high, she was an Indian, that she was Native American. And, you know, we have these surrogates, people like her, total failures. And I'll tell you what, our country is getting wise to what's happening, folks. We're getting wise to what's happening. It's a big scam, and we're all being scammed together, and we're not going to take it anymore.
The Donald Savage Sack Tap. Mike Montone, how are we doing? Well, you got to be doing all right if your name is not Elizabeth Warren. Wow. I'm assuming you guys follow the fake lying news media, but holy shit. Did Liz Warren go out of her way to just fucking own herself? If you've been following this whole thing, and that was Trump calling Elizabeth Warren, the senator from Massachusetts, calling her Pocahontas. That's he likes to rib her over that because forever she's been claiming that she's part Native American, and not like, oh yeah, I hear I might have been part Native American back in the old days. No. She's been like claiming like a sincere, legitimate Native American heritage for decades now. And Donald Trump has been calling her out forever. So finally, she gets a DNA test done. It's like a 23andMe or something like that. I'm sorry, you have to excuse me. I just had matcha club soda and lime. Good beverage. But anyway, she gets like a 23andMe or whatever one of those fucking DNA things done. And she makes this video, like the big reveal, and the guy on the phone is like, yes, Senator Warren, we have conclusive evidence. You have Native American DNA in your blood. And you think it's going to be like, whoa, oh, this is huge. Like, it's true. She really is a Native American. She's an Indian. And then it turns out that she's between 1/32nd and which I think is like 3% if you're any good at math, and what was the other? It was like 1 in 1,000 or something like that. It was some absurdly small percentage. So she may actually have less than 1% of Native American DNA in her blood, and she's been passing herself off as an Indian for years, and Trump's been calling her Pocahontas, and she releases these results as though that they're proof of her being like a fucking Apache warrior, like she was riding around like her grandmother was riding around taking scalps with Geronimo and Sitting Bull and the rest of these guys. Just absolutely absurd. Like you would have by Elizabeth Warren's telling, you know, her ancestors were the ones that fucking drove the knife into General Custer to finish him off at the Battle of wherever the fuck that happened. Wow, just fantastic stuff for the work week, and what a winning week for the Donald. And people always they assume, because I like to make fun of the libs when this stuff goes on, that I'm like some sort of big Trump supporter. I'm not. If you go back and listen to my earlier episodes, I was like so against Trump. I was like, oh, this guy's gonna be a fucking maniac, terrible stuff. But the maniacs turned out to be the people on the left, the ones who have been using a porn star to try to take him down. I'm assuming have you seen this? You heard about this? The Stormy Daniels thing, where they're they're trying to nail him on the campaign finance thing because they're saying that he used campaign funds to pay her off after they banged, but they're treating her like she's this feminist hero, as though Trump took advantage of this poor young woman. And it's like, no. She's a professional sex worker. She fucked the guy. She agreed not to say anything about it, and then she comes out and she says something about it. So it's like, well, what the fuck? Like, wasn't the whole thing like you did it consensually, and you were like, yeah, I won't say anything? What are you trying to say? Is this you did it for Melania? You came forward because their marriage isn't a fucking sham. So someone calls her I think the title, the headline was like, the fuck was it? Like, Stormy Daniels is the hero we need, or something like that. Or Stormy came out and kept saying, you know what? I think did I retweet it? Where's my phone? Where's my goddamn phone? Here it is. Oh, here we go. This is from Olivia Newsy. She said, I went to New Orleans to interview Stormy Daniels for New York Mag's Women in Power issue, out this week. And the headline is, Stormy Daniels didn't want to be anybody's hero. So anyway, she details, she's like, what the fuck does that say? That day, yes, I checked him hard. I was a fucking bitch to him. And then she talks about spanking him, and she's like, oh, she's like she thinks she's the only woman who ever spanked him, and she acts like you got this whole thing dumped in her lap, like her attorney called her to the story leaked. But what I don't get is all she had to do was be like, oh yeah, no comment. Like, this is all bullshit. This is all rumor. She says right there she signed the fucking non-disclosure. I don't get, how I don't. What puts my fucking brain in a pretzel is how we're calling her a hero. Like, all she did was she fucked the guy, spanked him apparently, which is fine. You like to get your ass slapped? Get your ass slapped. If Stormy Daniels wanted to fucking slap my ass, I'd absolutely let her fucking crank my fucking bare ass red. But not the point. The point is, all she had to do was shut the fuck up about it. But instead, she bangs the guy. People come out and say, all she had to do was like, no, like that's ridiculous rumor. It's Trump. He hangs out with a lot of celebrities. I rub elbows with a lot of people. No, never fucked him. And the whole thing would be over. Instead, she gets this jackass Michael Avenatti as her attorney, and they're going on this media tour, which really, it sounds like I don't even know if this has that much to do with Stormy, or if it has more to do with Avenatti just wanting to get out there and make a name for himself so he can run in 2020. Like, that guy is the biggest loudmouth douche on the planet. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but he's got this hashtag Basta. Basta, which I guess in Italian and Spanish is slang for like, enough, we're putting a stop to this. Like he's like uncovering something big, but then you get down to it and you're like, the only thing that he has is that Trump banged Stormy Daniels, which again, I don't understand what she's a hero for this because she banged the guy that they all hate. Shouldn't they dislike her for that? Like, shouldn't you be like, you got this motherfucker's nuts off with his gross ass dick and his orange pubes? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And shouldn't we, upon hearing that Trump banged a very hot porn star, be like, Donald, my man, that is my president. Like, the whole fucking thing doesn't add up, which is just like when Trump goes off and he's like, oh, the fucking media hates me, the media's against me, pop culture hates me, pop culture's against me. All this does is lend credence to that. Very, very, very silly stuff, folks. Not good. And not good. But you know how I am. I don't roll too deeply into the actual fucking politics on this show, because otherwise it turns out that you're just doing a fucking political show. And does anyone really want to listen to a fucking political show? I mean, I like Ben Shapiro. I listen to him. He's good. But there are very few people out there doing like good talk, or good political talk. Actually, very few people out there doing good talk. I'm not even doing good talk. This blows. I don't know why you listen to it. But please stick around. Well, once you've downloaded, I don't give a shit where you go. Go listen to something else for all I care. Just give me the fucking downloads. Anyway, sorry, I'm a little ramped up on caffeine today. Long day. I had to record my other podcast in the morning, then full day at work. And I've literally, I think every beverage that I've had today has been caffeinated. Like, I don't even know if I've had a glass of water. So, yeah, I'm fucking wired, allergies kicking in, all up, complete fucking mess. And it has been, it's been a little while since you heard from me solo. I did the episode last week with Maddie Cummings from NYC Gangster Tours. Definitely check that one out, by the way, if you're perusing the podcast page. If you're into gangster shit, if you like Goodfellas, Godfather, Casino, Donnie Brasco, Sopranos, all that, we kind of talked about the stories behind the stories and explained what goes on, how the New York Mafia came to its rise to power and kind of its fall from the late 80s through the 90s. So a very interesting conversation. I sat down with him, did my series podcast on a park bench, which I do from time to time. Getting kind of chilly out, the autumn wind rolling in like a fucking pirate, blustering in from sea, as John Facenda would have said. So probably won't be able to get onto a park bench again, but I always have fun doing those. So anyway, here's what I've been up to. I was down in Asbury Park, which should probably be called Assless Chapsbury Park, if you know what I mean. A lot of homosexuals in town is what I'm getting at. Oh man, I am like burping and nauseous. It's like a combination of the fizz from the seltzer and all the caffeine. It's got me a little woozy. Hope I don't pass out. But anyway, yes, it was the gal friend's birthday, so we went out for a few beverages. But first, I took her to a lovely Italian dinner down in Asbury Park, and we're sitting there. I'm chowing down on a little crusted tilapia over angel hair pasta, and I look to my left, and this little douchebag is sitting at the table playing on an iPad, and across from him, another little douchebag, who I can only assume is a sibling of his, also playing on an iPad while they slurp their buttered noodles and drink soda, and they're both just like these little fat, pudgy, disgusting little kids, like the kind of kids, I don't know if you know Lord of the Flies, when they're like running around yelling "kill the pig" and they're like chasing the fat kid. These kids would never survive Lord of the Flies. Like, they would be the first ones getting roasted on a fucking spit when the group turned to cannibalism. Just an absolutely disgusting display, and they're clearly well-to-do parents there. Which, but you know, if you could afford enough for a couple of iPads and to take your kids out to dinner, shell out at a nice restaurant like Belmonte in Asbury Park. Shout out Belmonte, absolutely delicious meal. I do plan to return, and to bring them with you, which costs way more than a sitter, by the way. Just a disgusting display of privileged, absurd behavior. My parents would bring us to those dinners from time to time when we were kids. There was no iPad to fuck around with. You either got crayons on the placemat, which even that was like a big, you were told to, keep it to yourself and don't fuck around too much. And then you had to kind of be creative and whatever. But you weren't glued to an electronic. You didn't need the distraction of the World Wide Web or some sort of intricate game universe in front of you. You drifted in and out of the conversation, whatever. But it was like practice for when you were going to be an adult. Like, you had to learn how to fucking behave in a restaurant. And part of the way you behave in a restaurant isn't by sitting there with a fucking iPad in your hands. This is fucking disgusting. And I realize that people have to download this online and use the social media and all that bullshit. And I'm going to fucking plug and whore out my social media in a little bit. But Jesus fucking Christ. And I've seen it everywhere. I was at the Subway Series. We paid, it had to be like $50 to $75 for an upper deck seat at the Subway Series a couple summers ago, with my dad and some buddies, and we're watching the game, and sitting a row or two in front of us are two kids fiddling with a fucking tablet during the fucking Subway series. Let me tell you, do you know what it would have meant to me as a fucking child, as an elementary school student, to get to go on a fucking weeknight to go see the Mets play the Yankees in Queens? I would have been coming in my prepubescent fucking pants for a chance to do that. And these little shits are in the stands playing on a fucking iPad. I'd have been glued to every fucking pitch. Disgusting. I can't wait. Fucking Russia, China, ISIS. Somebody just get in here and save us before these fucking progressive metropolitan fucking parent bred dipshits take over the fucking world in a couple years. Please. I'm begging you. I'm sending up an SOS. We could at least Putin's manliness would never allow this, and fucking China's just strict, stern, fucking tiger moms would never permit this kind of bullshit to go down. Disgusting. Ugh. What else? Drop my pen. Drop my fucking pen. That's how angry I am. Fuck. I'm sorry. If I'm talking weird, it's also because my allergies are kicking up. It's that time of year. My nose is stuffed, throat's a little dry. Another thing I wanted to discuss. We had they hooked it up with a delightful little buffet at work last week. Yeah, it was last week. And big buffet. And something it's always driven me nuts. When there's free food in the office, everybody acts like they've never eaten before. They're walking around like a bunch of dipshits. I actually took notes on this. I legitimately wonder how many office shootings are the result of just some guy getting sick and tired of hearing his female coworkers discuss what they're going to eat for lunch. Just absolutely absurd, some of the fucking commentary I heard. I hear one bitch say, "Oh, I had a breakfast sandwich this morning, so I can only have salad and cheese." "Ooh, is that pasta? And they have tofu. Oh, neat." Needless to say, she had more than just the salad and cheese. I feel terrible for anyone who has to date these little fart machines. Let's see, what else? This might have been my favorite. A woman who looked like she had no business eating dessert walks by my desk with a half-eaten donut or some other, it was like an eclair, some sort of pastry in hand, and a full mouth. She does the full mouth talk. "I'm only gonna eat half of it." Yeah, I don't think that's fucking helping. I don't know if that's saving you any points with fucking Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or whatever fad diet you're on. That's obviously not working. What else? Oh, this was my favorite. Was this my favorite? I think I just said the other one was my favorite. They're all my favorite. I hate them all. These two dipshits. "I wish meat wasn't made out of meat." Yeah, I'll let that settle in for a second. And then the two apparent vegans started discussing their favorite vegan restaurants in the city. At which point I had no choice. I had to. I was already on. It was like my third plate already. I was loading the fuck up because got to get into that anabolic state if you want to pump those guns. I had a big deadlift workout going on that day. Good thing. But they had like a tray of steak slices and chicken. So as these dopes are loading up on tofu and talking about their favorite vegan restaurants, I go up and just very deliberately take a plate and very carefully load it with only meat. Like I literally just loaded it with only meat, big pile of meat. Then I grabbed like a dab of salad and just poured olive oil all over that bitch and just feasted on fucking good animal fucking fats right in their faces. Because you know why? Because veganism is fucking stupid and silly, and I don't need you advertising it in the workplace like some holier than thou jackass. Literally saying like, oh, the words not only, "Oh, I wish meat didn't have meat," but like they were discussing the sandwiches and stuff, and when the thing was like opened up, like the big reveal, she's like, "So are these all vegan sandwiches?" And the person who took it out was like, "No, No, they're like turkey and chicken and roast beef. Like there are a couple eggplant wraps in there for people with terrible taste in food. But no, we're not treating the office to a bunch of vegan garbage. Let me tell you something. When you go through the leftovers of these things, because sometimes they'll have an event where they like get it catered and then they'll bring it in to us afterwards to have the leftovers. The leftovers are all just the vegan shit because nobody wants vegan food because it's stupid and disgusting. You have to be a dumbass to eat it. Fuck else. I know there's more. Oh, this fucking kills me. When these people, and I honestly, I don't know if you experience this in other workplaces because I don't know if it fucking goes down this way. But these dumbasses, they're standing online waiting to get their hands on the next little goodie, and they have to announce what everything is. Like, I've been on a lot of buffet lines, like college cafeteria, high school cafeteria. I go to a lot of weddings. I was in the Marine Corps, eating the chow hall. Many, many different buffet lines. And this has to be limited to, like, the corporate environment. But, ooh, is this a ham sandwich? Ooh, with American cheese. Ooh, this one has tomato. Oh, I hate tomato. Ooh, the turkey sandwich doesn't have to. Shut the fuck up. I just want to snack on the company dollar. I don't want to hear about your stupid little individual dietary preferences, you fucking dolt. Ugh. And of course the foot stomping hilarity that ensues when someone announces that they're are these veggies? I'm gonna skip those. The dessert tray looks too good. Like, ha ha ha. Yeah, we get it. You're a fat fuck. No one wants to have sex with you, is what you say when that happens. And the best part was the whole thing like capped it off with just like sort of like a not a portmanteau. Like a walking just collage of a pastiche, maybe, I don't know, of all of these idiots is this woman, and I encounter this woman on a fairly regular basis, and every time it's just something dumber and dumber and dumber comes out of her mouth, and this was the best. She's standing over the fucking buffet line, which by that point it had been kind of rat fucked into oblivion. Not that she needed another fucking bite, but she's eating over the trays, and she's announcing to no one in particular, she's like, "Oh, I can't have sesame seeds." Ooh, what is that? I'm not sure what that is. What's that? Ooh, what's that over here? And then when she had finally, loaded her plate to the max, just announces again to no one in particular because no one's interested in any of this bullshit except for other idiots who weren't there because they were all busy stuffing their face with dessert part 3. She says, "I'll be back later for more pasta." Oh, well, bully for you. Ugh. Just fucking terrible. I don't get, like, this has to be why people are just shooting up workplaces. In fact, I'm surprised it's not happening more often. Like, you would think that this type of thing would be inspiring more mass shootings, or perhaps it's that the bulk of corporate America is so like this that they hear it and it's just white noise. That they don't realize that that there's someone standing there who would love to just take the belt out of his dungarees, his jeans, if you will, and fucking choke Joan from accounting until her face explodes because she won't shut the fuck up about sesame seeds and pasta and vegan and how you wish meat was made out of fucking tofu or whatever fucking stupidity is coming out of your fucking mouth. Ugh. Where the fuck do these people come from? Who socializes with these idiots on weekends and hasn't been like, "Look, Pam, you're fucking annoying. Shut the fuck up." Ugh. All right. Sorry. Heavily caffeinated. Speaking of frustration on the job, I had an epic Monday of workplace defecation. Sunday, as I mentioned, or as I have mentioned in the past, the the lady friend is in grad school, so we're kind of taking like we hang out like every other weekend. So weekends she's not around. She kind of lead me to doing a lot of podcasting, a lot of masturbating, and a lot of solo drinking. Because all my stupid fucking friends are married and have kids and don't like to go out and get fucked up anymore. So I just have to stay home, fucking drink and jerk off by myself. No, well, not that I'd be jerking off with them. We'd be doing something else. We're not the fucking Beatles. But you know, the masturbating is it's a time filler. Okay. In any case, left to my own devices on a football Sunday, decided it was a good idea to polish off a six-pack of Carlsberg. Shout out to, what are they, the Dutch? Are they the ones that make Carlsberg? I love Carlsberg, Heineken, and Beck's. Like, I just like those just crisp, refreshing European Pilsner and lager style beers. Good stuff. Refreshing, goes down goes down well, great with food. Can't fucking miss with that stuff. But anyway, I get a bunch of those, and I'm watching the Cowboys. I'm like, I hadn't eaten shit since I had a bagel with Taylor ham, egg, and cheese during the pregame show, and my tummy was getting rumbly. And I had recently been reading this book called about the BTK gang in Chinatown. They're BTK says Born to Kill. They were the Vietnamese gang in Chinatown who took BTK from the helmets of USGIs, would write BTK or Born to Kill on their shit in Vietnam, and these guys immigrated here and they got into doing some gangster shit, and they decided to name themselves BTK, or once again Born to Kill. And every time like they're plotting some scheme in the book, they're doing so while drinking beer and eating Chinese food. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, I am in the mood for some motherfucking sesame chicken. So that's exactly what I got. Like the Cowboys was rocking shit over the fucking, who do we beat? The Jags? Oh yeah, put up like 40 on the number one defense in the league. Shout out Dak Prescott, Cole Beasley, Zeke Elliott. What up, bitches? So towards the end of the game, I ordered from, I was like, not even going to go, I'm not going high class, I'm not going sushi or anything like that. I'm going straight up fucking good old-fashioned takeout Chinese, brisk autumn night. So I put in the call late in the fourth, and, I was like, all right, this would be perfect. I'll pick it up, and then I'll get back in time to watch The Simpsons, Family Guy, all that good shit while I eat. So I took a stroll, clear a little space, get some of those calories out of there, and picked up some nice fucking greasy MSG and sodium-filled Chinese food. Come home and put a beautiful spread out on the sticker table in the living room. I got myself a nice egg roll, got an order of dumplings, 8 steamed dumplings in there. And I'm telling you this just for count, so you know how much food was put into my body in a very, very short period of time. A pint of lo mein, and an order of the sesame chicken combo, which comes with fried rice, pork fried rice, and broccoli. So I took in about a week's worth of calories for a small African family and went to fucking town. I was still washing it all down with beer, by the way. And not sitting in a very good eating position either, because I was eating off of a coffee table, so I was like folded in half. Couldn't have been good for digestion. Ate like a fucking pig between like, I would say like 8:30, because I smoked a little bit while I watched The Simpsons before I started chowing down. Between 8:30 and like 9:45, I housed the entire thing. A lot of fucking food. I know if you're not from the area, you're like, the only Chinese food you know about is like Panda Express. Like, we don't fucking play that around here. Like Jersey, New York City, we put out some motherfucking Chinese food, bitches. Like, you better fucking come correct when it's time to eat Chinese food. I have my own fucking chopsticks here. I was eating that shit. Delicious. Great meal. Stuffed. Go, pass out, food coma. Got to bed nice and early. 10 o'clock. I'm like, I don't have to be up until fucking 6. Get a nice 8 hours of sleep on a Sunday night. Rare. All of a sudden around like 3:30, 4 a.m., I wake up. I didn't have to shit. I was just sweating fucking bullets, parched cotton mouth, because literally all I'd consumed all day was junk calories in the form of beer, bagels, fucking processed meats, cheese, and whatever the fuck the Chinese put into their shit, which I'm assuming isn't very healthy. And I was like, oh, I know the telltale signs of a fucking rough one coming up. Like, I usually don't wake up like that on Mondays in the off season. Usually those wake ups are reserved for Mondays during the summer when I've been drinking down the shore all weekend and fucking dehydrating myself and consuming garbage in the hot sun. In the football season, it's pretty rare. Football season, I had the window open, nice fucking chilly breeze coming in. I thought I was good to go. Oh no. I couldn't get back to sleep. My body just would not let me. So that was cool. And then I get up, and coffee did not force out a good shit. It forced out, and when I say forced out, I mean I had to put some effort into getting this turd out my ass. A very, very uninspired, normal-sized log, but not what I was expecting after a cup of Café Bustelo and a huge Chinese food meal, plus beer, and a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel. So I'm like, oh fuck. There's a time bomb in my stomach, and it's ready to explode. So I get in, and it's Monday, disheveled. Got my fucking hoodie on because fucking pain in my ass. Fucking pain in my ass computer decided to shut down in the middle of a fucking podcast episode. Motherfucking thing. Sorry about that, folks. Where was I? Yeah, so I had just gotten into work. I'm like fucking taking off my hoodie, like at my desk. I'm like, oh shit, here it comes. And I got myself down the hall to the bathroom, and I took what I referred to. I had to clench my cheeks the entire way, and I'm doing the clenched cheek shuffle. You know what I'm talking about? Where you can't take a full stride lest your rectum just burst open like a fucking floodgate and shit pour down your ass onto the floor of the workplace that you come to every day, which would launch you all the way past the buffet line dipshits as the worst person at the office. If you were to leave the floor covered in shit. Unless, if I was getting fired, I would shit all over the floor. I think that'd be a great way to go out. If you're getting canned, you may as well, right? But if you wish to stay gainfully employed, it's a good rule of thumb not to shit on the floor at work. Anyway, I do the clenched cheek shuffle and make it in. Glory be to God on high that I get in, and not only was the bathroom completely empty, well, I guess it would follow that if the bathroom was completely empty, the good handicap stall also completely empty. I sat down, and it was one of those, I always do that. You get in there, and you lock the door, and I'm even in these situations, I'm fastidious about giving the seat a good wipe, because these fucking disgusting dopes in there get their ass hair and stuff all over, and some of them they don't know how to wipe their asses, and they must be just smearing shit into the crack of their asses and then sitting down in the bowl, because there will be like a poo mark on the back end of the... You've probably seen these before. You know what I'm talking about? So you always have to go and fucking make sure there's not one of those. Give it a nice clean seat. And I sit, and finally I'm like, okay, I can breathe. And not... My ass was just touching the porcelain. I hadn't even gone from, like, entering the seated position to being in like a full upright seated spot to the floodgates just opened and it just poured out. I call them charcoal briquette shits because it's not like one big long tube. It's like a you ever setting up a barbecue, getting ready to do some grilling, and you open the bag of charcoal briquettes, and they all come out in like a big. They all pour out, and then there's just a big pile of little bricks sitting in the barbecue waiting to get lit up. and then that's exactly what it looks like in the bowl. It's just a mound of charcoal briquette-sized turds sitting there after, and you got to sit and when you let something like that come out of your ass, it's like it's like a religious experience almost. It's almost like having sex. Like that must be the way gay guys feel after having like a dick get pulled out of them, after their gentleman lover finishes. Holy shit, though! What a mound of turds, and there I thought everything was done. Chilled out for a couple minutes, fucked around on the Instagram, get back about my business, go back to work, and then it was like every hour after that, I had to go back and drop another one. Some were just watery, some were like little bits of turd that I guess didn't come out and had just been sitting up there. But oh man, just an impressive display of defecation. I've done those before, like I said. Usually, outside of the summer, those usually only come if I've gone to like a big family function and I'm feasting on like Italian food and stuff, or like after like a Super Bowl or something like that where I'm eating all sorts of different shit, but not on a run of the mill Sunday. I gotta be careful. I blame my girlfriend, Kimmy. All your fault. If we'd been hanging out, I would have had to share the Chinese food with someone. Wouldn't have done that much damage to my small intestine. All your fault, woman. You owe me. But anyway, yeah. Wow. Oh, just a massive steaming pile of shit and more. I think I want to say the total for at work shits was like 5, and 1 at home before work. And then I might have even gone in for another round when I got home from the gym that night too. But yeah, big shitter, as Elizabeth Warren would say. And speaking of unadulterated shit, please check me out on social media. You can find this Facebook.com/The Savage Crew, Twitter @Mike Montone, Instagram @Gary_Moiler, MOYLER is how you spell Moiler. And you can find my podcast at thesavagecrew.libsyn.com, LIBSYN for Libsyn. And anywhere podcasts are downloaded. We're in Podbean, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, all over the fucking place. The iTunes store, all over you can find us. So do yourself a solid. You check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/Savage Crew. Right up at the top of the page, I got it pinned. You find everywhere that the Savage Sack Tap is available. How about that? Yeah, that's a day maker, huh? Spend plenty of time. If you haven't listened, there's like shitload of episodes, 50-something episodes, I think, up there. If you've never listened before and you want to get into our archives, check it out. The most recent stuff's the best, in my opinion. The older stuff, I had to learn how to do it. But anyway, moving on. I do have a news story I want to check out. I not a whole lot for this episode. It's doing a weekly show. You got it, because sometimes I just like to talk about stuff that's going on in my life, like hating people on the buffet line and taking big shits. Other days I got news stories to delve into. But let me what do they say? This one got my Irish up a little bit. Speaking of raging alcoholics, comptroller says Natty Light's 77 pack corrupts University of Maryland students. Boo! Bet this fucking douchebag went to UNC, didn't he? Those are rivals, for those of you who don't know. And if you don't know what natural light or natty light is, you're a fucking idiot and never had any fun in your life. But natty is obviously the beer of choice for broke young people, unless you drink Beast. Muhlenberg was weird. You ran into a lot of Beast, especially down at Sig Ep. Shout out Sig Ep. Used to piss all over your fucking frat house on my way back from the bar. But I love you guys. You guys were frenemies, as I like to call it. But yeah, I was always from high school. I was a natty guy, so I did get a solid 8 years or so of drinking natty. But yeah, so I guess Natty put out a 77 pack, which is pretty fucking sweet. But what's this? This is AP did not do a good job of covering this. Referencing Oh, here we go. What's this dickhead's name? Peter Franchot. Oh, he's calling for an investigation. WUSA TV reports Peter Franchot called for an investigation asserting large brewing companies have corrupted Maryland legislators with questionable contributions in favor. Referencing the 77 packs of Natural Light available briefly and only in College Park, Franchot said, big brewers like Budweiser who are selling 77 cans of beer for 39 cents each to college kids don't like craft brewers. Anheuser-Busch owns Natural Light. And Franchot also said the stunt promoted binge drinking among young people. Yeah, so anyway, it looks like this guy's just like real deep into like the whole craft beer thing, which is fine. But fuck off with your shit about how this is corrupting it. First of all, 70 it's not like the price of Natty Light is prohibitively cheap or prohibitively expensive to begin with. It is literally one of the cheapest beers out there. I think you get a 30 for like $9. So whatever, I don't know what the fucking math on this is, 39 cents a can. It doesn't fucking matter because college kids are all throwing in 5 anyway. So they're going to get beer. And by the way, you would prefer that college kids drink beer. Beer is like the most innocuous thing that college kids put into their body. Like, they put worse shit into their systems to go and pay attention in class. Beer is like a casual, like, we would get like, each person would get like a 15 pack of Natty for movie night when I was in. That was like if you polished off 15 Natties in a night in senior year of college, that was like just like a casual night. Like, I don't know what the fuck this bullshit is about cheap beer corrupting kids. Like, honestly, I think the scale of shit that college students put into their body it's like coffee, then beer, and then that's like the bottom, the safe end, and then at the top is like they're taking amphetamines to get their fucking homework done. So maybe chill out. Like, I think the cocaine that you snort on the weekends when you're partying is actually safer than the amount of fucking Adderall and Ritalin that these fuckers take on Monday to Friday when there's a fucking exam coming up. So do me a favor, bro, who's obviously never fucking partied, and chill the shit out with your butt fucking natty over offering a probably one of the best deals ever for beer. Natural Light. Very good. Probably one of the best. Love it. And College Park, too. I mean, like, that is not the worst thing that's going down in College Park. I've been to College Park once in my life to party, and we rocked the fucking shit. We showed up, we hung out at the Pike House to pregame, and then we got a bunch of bottles of Mad Dog 2020, and we chugged them in the parking lot until a cop came up and made us dump them out, which was totally bogus. But we were like literally tilting them back, like chugging them, and a cop comes up. She's just like, I know you're not just standing in this parking lot drinking Mad Dog 2020. And I was like, it's Gatorade. She's like, I know Mad Dog 2020 when I see it. Dump them. So she made us pour them out. And then we didn't have a place to stay, so we played a game we used to call Fuck or Freeze when I was in the Marine Corps, where you had to get a chick to take you home, or you had to sleep in the car. So, well, we all did a good job. I think only one guy in the group wound up freezing. The rest of us fucked. Not each other. Chicks, I should I actually wound up losing my. We used to have to keep the key to our rifle locks on like a fucking chain around our necks, and mine. This is at the basic school, and they had us keep the rifles in the fucking barracks with a bike lock because we were in and out of the field so much. So the fucking chain broke. It was like my dog tags chain, and I lost my rifle key in this sorority chick's bedroom after a night of pummeling pussy. Or, well, I was 22. I probably did a terrible job. 22-year-olds don't know how to fuck. Anyone under the age of 25 that tells you that they know how to lay down dick is fucking lying. But any case, I had to fucking call the company gunny and tell him that I lost my fucking rifle key, and I had to go out and get a new key made to unlock my my fucking rifle, and I had to write a letter explaining to my platoon commander why I had lost my rifle key, and it was fantastic. But yeah. Fuck this dude for shitting on Natty for providing a beautiful service to college kids. Like, beer is the worst thing they've ever consumed. Some of the best nights of my life are a result of natural light. A wise man once said, "When all else fails, there's always Natty." And I think the Maryland, what was he, the comptroller? No one cares. Shut up, nerd. That's what a comptroller is. A comptroller's a fucking nerd. You're a fucking government accountant. Fuck off. No one cares what you think. You know what his problem is? He didn't get invited to any parties. No one knows where he's in fucking bed with the craft beer companies. Because he sat at home drinking a fucking honey brown while everyone else was out raging, having a good time, drinking natty, getting pussy, getting dick, getting drunk, doing blow. Waking up the next morning, going to the cafeteria, laughing about it, having a good old time. Fuck off. Fucking bullshit, Gov. This is why we need to vote Libertarian. Get the fucking government out of my beer refrigerator, you fucking cucks. What else? That's kind of it. I was going to watch this video for, what the fuck is this place called again? What do they call themselves? Do yourself a favor. I don't even want to watch it. It's a video for this shit called the Shriners Hospital. I have to watch it with people. Like, it gives me too much of the heebie-jeebies to even watch by myself. But I guess it's this hospital for, like, deformed kids. Or, like, kids, like, you know, kids who are going to grow up to be midgets. Or, like, kids in wheelchairs with, like, terrible diseases and stuff. And it's, like, this hospital where they're all deformed, but they're doing normal people stuff. And no one's even mentioning the fact they show the one chick who's the main character in the commercial she doesn't have an arm. She just has, like, a hand coming out of her shoulder. And instead of just, like, hacking, you know, doing the thing that you think you would do and just hack the fucking thing off and go around with one arm and at least look kind of normal, she's got, like, this nub with fingers and not, like, again, not even, like, a full arm, so it's, like, a deformed, whatever, it's a deformed hand, you got it down there. Like, you know, saw that bitch off at the joint. Get rid of it. Ugh. Disgusting. I can't even, as the white girls say. Yeah, I was gonna watch it, but I'm exhausted. I'll hold on to that one for a later time. It's been a very long day and a long week. I'm preparing for a big move here. I know I've mentioned it before, but I'm moving like 5-6 blocks away. But it's still like you got to pack all the shit up. Got to pack up Sack Tap Studios here, but moving into a new space, as they say. So that should be pretty cool. I'll do one final camera tour around the old dojo, show you what we had going on here before I pack things up, and then we'll get settled into the new one. But still, one more episode coming up before I get out of here. I think got one next week. I got the Halloween episode coming up next week. That should be pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and once again, Facebook.com/Savage Crew is where you can find me on Facebook. Twitter at Mike Montone. Instagram at Gary_Moyler. And of course the podcast available, The Savage Crew, at Libsyn, LIBSYN.com. Thank you for tuning in. I think this one was a little shorter than usual. I've been going kind of long lately. I've been going like an hour and a half lately. Had to cut that down a little bit. So hopefully you enjoyed. This is just kind of me running my mouth on a bunch of bullshit. Nothing too wild, nothing too exciting. But please share it with a friend, fucking tag a friend, poke a friend, do whatever you got to do to your friends. Get them watching and listening to this bullshit. And I'll catch you next time. Later, beautiful babies. Bye-bye.